No.
We'll start there.
Hello.
Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Hope you're doing well. I've got a couple of guests with me today. I'm going to be hanging out with the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Morgan, but also special guest HL49. Jim, first of all, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man.
Awesome.
Today is a good day.
It's a good day. It's always a good day if you're on this side of the what's that expression? If you're on this side of the grass, that's the expression. If you're on this side of the grass, it's a good day. And HL49, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, it's been
great there.
Yeah, it's been my everything's good except my littlest one's having some struggles with her seizures. She has a seizure condition, but yeah, even that, like she's been so full of joy lately, and she's been talking more, and there's been lots of amazing things, even though the difficulty is there too. But glad to be hanging out with you two guys. And Jim, and HL, before we went live, I was asking, have you guys met each other? And you say no. Well, Jim, of course, is like on our channel all the time, and he's been a supporter and a friend of the channel for like since the very beginning. And HL, can you just, for Jim, but also for everybody who might be new, can you just introduce them to yourself? What do you do with Splinterlands? What's your, give me like 2 minutes on your story and how you came to it.
Okay, hello guys, nice to meet you there. If you don't know me, I'm just a small Splinters YouTuber that tries to cover basically just on most of it is gameplay. I'm in Champ 2, I think, maybe even Champ 1 right now, and I also try to show you some strategies. Recently I put a video out where I invested about $1,000 on cards, if you are interested in such things like that. And basically I'm a full-time believer of this game, and I hope you have as much fun playing it as me, and then I would love to see you at my channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's quality stuff, like and deeply analytical from like a gameplay standpoint, but also like a meta. And we've done videos before where HL and I will like just battle each other, and just there's like a real thoughtfulness in how you craft teams and how you understand the cards and how they synergize together. So guys, he's only got 298 subs, and he deserves 10 times that at least. So if you're interested in more Splinterlands content, it's available. You just need to start subbing to the right people. And this is one of them. And Jim, also, the people know, but you are doing, you're doing 2 streams on Splinterlands TV right now, or 1?
Yes, I am doing 2. I still got my original Wednesday night, and then I took over Friday night from some guy who's a traitor and is quitting the game. I don't know who he is though.
He's abandoning the community. He hates Splinterlands and blockchain technology.
He says this game's dying.
Some a-hole.
Sell all assets for 1 penny. Sell them all.
Yeah, that sounds like the story I heard. Hey guys, so let's say hi to the chat, see what's out there. Gathering did pop by. I think he's off right now, but he popped by before we went live and said we'll be off to work, but we'll definitely watch the replay. I'm going to be claiming a plot of land next Monday with Gank and Walking Keys on their live stream. They're doing like a Gank happy birthday party. So you guys, if you're watching this and you're hearing my voice, you should go pop by NFT Gaming and Collectibles on their YouTube. That's Gank and Walking Keys, and it's so much fun to watch those guys. And they're doing like a party next week, so I'm going to try and be there too, gathering. And he mentions, let's talk about this in a minute, guys, but let's say, I'm going to read through some comments first, but this idea of consolidating some of the land that maybe Time and Attention owns, I know that that's where the heart is for our guild. HL49, I wonder what if you have a desire to even kind of pile in, because for instance, After Sound, Time and Attention, like Walking Keys and Gank, like there's kind of a plan to consolidate some of it, because really you want to know that the community people you're claiming with are active, attentive, that they're going to be developing their land properly, because that's all going to help you as a neighbor. And so we'll talk more about that in a minute, but let's just read a few more comments here. Next Monday at 9:30 p.m. is their stream. Okay, so that's Monday the 20th at 9:30 p.m. I think Pacific Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. Hardy Stonefish, good to see you, bud. Bobby's here, right on time too, as always. Off to work, we'll listen later. I'm at work. Bobby's always at work, always grinding, doing both. I love it. That was honestly my story too. And I think Jim earlier today was working, but I was discording him and like just setting this up too. And HL, you're in uni, right? Like you're in college or university. You're hard at work when you're not on covering the Splinterlands. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. I'm currently working on my bachelor's in business and law.
Oh, nice. That might be helpful when you are a crypto billionaire and you need to understand how to, I guess, put that to work in business.
Oh, it's better in most. Currently, I'm more focusing in avoiding taxes. You know,
So important. So important.
Oh, let's not say that out loud.
Legally avoiding taxes. It's like the Orange Man said. Remember when he was like debating for the presidential election? He goes, I didn't. They're like, you don't even pay tax, and he's like, that's right, I don't, because you made laws that let me not pay them, and so I'm gonna do. It's really smart of me not to. So same with you.
They're not going to change it because their friends take care of it as well.
That's right.
Or take advantage of it.
So we're not condoning breaking laws. We're condoning knowing the law and using it to your full advantage.
Yeah.
Bobby says, not going to hit champ this season. I didn't rent my teams. Dude, I just made it to champion 2, which is unheard of for me. I'm not sure I've ever been there before this season. And it's in large part, I got to say it's in large part because I've got one of those X bots. And we'll talk about that today because, man, I am very impressed. But let's keep going. Bobby.
Dude, I sold mine today.
Your X bot?
Really?
Or my bad, the other day. Yeah, I sold it. I got like $70 profit. Profit.
Oh, that's juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't pass that up.
I know, right? And I just bought one. They had a sale for $75, and I bought one. They sold out instantly. They had 100 or 150 copies to sell. They sold out literally within less than a second. And so I went to Hive Engine. I bought one for, I think, $80. And now they're selling for 120. But in part, that's because Hive Engine is based on Hive price, and Hive price is pumping. And we should talk about this too, the market, man, and everything with those major bank collapses, and then the government saying they're going to buy it back, because frankly, that's going to have implications for crypto. But you know what? There's so many things and so many angles, but just quickly, I see you, Butters. I see you, Hewitt. Thanks for coming, guys. Paul's in the house. Oscu, Amin. Good to see you. Hey, Dwayne, I want to ask if I own a couple of plots, what would be the approach? Should have a focus on production, storage, arena, or something else? That's going to be hard to discuss, but let's start with some land conversation, and then we'll move into something else. But HL, do you have any land plots?
Yeah, I do on 5+.
Okay. And in the town hall, did you watch the most recent town hall?
Unfortunately, I haven't, but I just got a little bit of information about it.
So they did talk about, they said, who was it that said this? I think it was Eggy. He goes, if you have, one of the questions is how many, I think they said like, how many plots of land do I need? And he's like, if you can have one, you're going to be able to enjoy the game. And it's going to be a fun like component. Like that's going to be enough experientially. But then the question is, do you want to be able to magnify sort of the output of that aspect of the game? Because one won't do that. It's not going to satisfy everything. But of course, it's going to be, it seems as though they really are targeting even one is an enjoyable experience. I think the target. 5, I for some reason in my head, I just feel like 10 is the number I feel I need. And I currently have 15 or 16. And I am giving away one plot of land to one of my viewers or members who support my YouTube channel financially. Those people get one ticket every month that they support. And then people who leave comments that turn into videos will earn a raffle ticket for that comment. And so when I get to 250 raffle tickets, I'm giving away a plot of land. Jim, do you have any land?
No, not yet.
And are you still going by the theory like we talked about way back, where you kind of want to see this thing actually launch, and then you'll wait and see where you can essentially, somebody's going to want to get rid of it in that moment, and you'll be able to pick up a plot, maybe a common plot, but in territory you like. Is that kind of still your approach?
If you were to ask me a couple weeks ago, I really did want to pick up some while we don't know what they are, or don't really know the prices of the stuff. But then I waited a little bit, and I was like, okay, what do I want to start prioritizing here? I wanted to start working on my gold foil deck. I also know I'm looking to get a gold foil Rooney. That's not cheap.
Oh.
And then I'm also just like, maybe I should go back to what I was thinking about with land. Just wait, see how it goes. If it's higher up in price, okay, I'll pay the premium on it for if we know what the ROI is at those moments.
So you are waiting for more information.
I am waiting now.
You've never been disinterested. Is that fair? You've always been interested, but you are. Yeah.
I've always been interested, and I know it's going to be a really nice change for the game. And I might pick up one, but I'm not going to go as crazy as I could. I'll pick up like maybe one or two. And dude, those nightmare packs are another thing I'm looking at.
Yeah. We definitely.
Like Bobby says in the chat.
When Jim's in the house, we got to talk nightmare. I continue to be excited about that. And then there's the controversy with the GLX, but maybe we won't even. That's like a whole other thing. But man, there's just so many things to talk about. Maybe before we move on to another thing, I'll try and do my best quickly to address that question. I'm on how many. He's got a couple of plots. What would be the approach to focus on for production, storage, arena? Some of that I think we're just not going to know. And almost to Jim's point, it's we need to wait and see. We need to know more before we're going to be able to address some of that. But I think from the comments and what we can glean from what the developers are telling us they're planning, you can expect that one or two plots or a handful of plots is going to actually be a meaningful source of revenue and an opportunity. And if you think if there's 150,000 plots, and if you think there's, I know that there's not 150,000 active human beings playing this game, but there is 150, 200,000 active accounts that are doing different things. There's no way. And then there's people who have 1,000 plots. There's people who have, Stever has 200 plots. Gank has a full 1,000. Someone else I know from our community has 2 full regions. That's 2,000 plots. When you start to recognize that there's a few people who own sort of significant chunks like that, you have to remember that there just isn't even close to enough for everyone to have 2. 2 is huge. And so I do think there's tons of reason to be excited there. In terms of micromanaging where that's going to lead and how that's going to, is it production or storage or whatever, I just don't think you can go there yet. Because, just not only not knowing how it's going to play, but then also not knowing the rarity of what you've personally got. I think, you open those plots and maybe they're legendaries. Maybe one of them is a legendary. You could probably sell, I continue to think that a legendary is going to sell such a massive number. Like a legendary, the equivalent of what would be like a legendary gold foil with like the magical resources or the souls, I think they're called. Something that's like the ultra rare copy, if that ends up being your story, is going to be such a massive sale that the question then is, do you sell that and buy maybe 10 other options, 10 other smaller plots, common or otherwise? I think that's going to be an option for people. And so that might not be you, Amin, but it could be somebody with 2 plots. And so I think there's just too much, I guess, questions or variables to properly to plan for that. But 2 is going to be fun. You're going to see a good amount of opportunity and cool things to do with it, I think. Hewitt says Xbot for the Winnies and Champ 2. I suspect, Hewitt, you're playing Modern because you're a bit newer. I'm playing Wild and I'm in Champ 2. And I'm just like, mind you, I made it to Champ 3, and then I went a little bit ham on my rentals because I was like, wow, Xbot knows what it's doing. And I was like, let's equip this thing with some stuff. So I rented a Play-Doh. Let's see. I rented Play-Doh. I rented Valinor. I rented Peak Rider. I rented Selenia. And just trying to... And then I even fed it, obviously, some monsters that would be powerful. And most of these are mine. But yeah, man, it's... And this is a very important season to have great success. I don't know if you guys know this, Jim, HL, but they're changing how we reset the seasons. And so at the end of this season, you're going to go back not three leagues, but you're going to go back 2 leagues. And so if you're able to make it to champion 1 or diamond 1 or gold 1, wherever, if you can make it to the top of wherever you are capable of fighting, you're going to stay in that league next season. So champion 1 will reset to champ 3, diamond 1 will set to diamond 3. And that's going to be an opportunity for you to really, for the first time ever, get even more of the chests that are highly, highly valuable to you, whether you're a gold player or a diamond or whatever. Though you don't usually get there until at least halfway through the season, I bet. And so you're always fighting in a league that's beneath, quote unquote, beneath you because of how it's always worked. And so this is an interesting moment where we're going to be able to get a lot more powerful chests than we used to. Where are you, HLA, did you say you were in champ 2?
Yeah, I'm champ 2 right now.
And you're playing modern or wild?
I'm playing modern. I don't have the... Maybe I have the deck to play by it and the knowledge, but it's just a lot to learn, and I still have a lot to learn in modern, so I'm currently staying only in modern.
Mm-hmm. And are you hoping that... Have you ever been in champ 1, and will you return there this season?
Yeah, I've been to champ 1 with some rented cards.
Mm-hmm.
But not only with my own. Currently, I have only gotten a full maxed out, not even maxed out Chaos Legion deck. So I'm still missing all of the Rift Watcher cards. I'm missing some of the core cards, but I at least got all of the reward cards maxed. So I don't know if I'm able to go to champ 1. I don't think I am. But if I rent a little bit, I would.
We got 20 hours left. Would you consider renting it because of what I said around, resetting two leagues? Is that worth it?
Personally, for me, no, because at the beginning of the season, I will play against all of the leaderboard players, and they have way better cards than I do. They are now at 4.5k trophies, so they're probably way higher than I am. If I reach to champion 1 and they are like at 3.7, 4.7 like they were last season, I have no business there. I will immediately drop out to diamond 1.
Yeah.
So I'm probably also a little down there.
Interesting.
To diamond 2.
Yeah, interesting. That makes me think though, if you move to diamond 1 because you stay in champ 2, aren't you going to find that you're facing off against the best of the best diamond players? Or like, do you know what I mean? Like, isn't that competition just as stiff?
Yeah, probably. As I noticed, it's easier to play in diamond than in champion. Even normally I was doing like, I think top 30, top 20 spot the first time I hit champion in diamond, and I thought like, yeah, let's go to champion right up. Don't go with the leaderboard rewards. And basically I think the top guys, yes, but most of the guys, no.
Because the other thing that I think about is you're not only fighting, like, yeah, they're quality decks. They are essentially champion decks. They're not, you're right, they're not nearly the same caliber as some of these champ 1 guys who are in the 4,700 range. But when you're fighting in diamond 1, you're not only fighting, what are going to be champion players at the beginning of the season. They're going to be champion players, but you're also facing off against the people who are going to fight in that diamond top tier, like looking for the leaderboard on diamond. And I find there's a lot of challenge there too. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I'm not saying I know for sure either way, but this season I'm going to try and make it. And I rented everything I could to try and make it into champ 1, because I want to see what'll happen if I have a whole season. Maybe I'll just get kicked out in the first day, but I want to see what'll happen if I just start in champ. Jim, are you, what are you doing right now? Is the gold foil deck running on its own? Or you said you sold Xbot? Did you use that to buy some gold foils? What'd you do?
So I sold it, and then I'm kind of holding on to it right now. The money, just figuring out what I want to do. I put it into some liquidity pools to earn some more passive money. And I'm kind of interested to see what's going on with PKM after these next couple days when the reward pool for it changes. Or, yeah, I kind of want to know what's going to happen with PKM.
Tell me about that. I don't actually know what you're referring to.
Oh, okay. So if you go to Peak Monsters,
the best Splinterlands market, yep.
Yeah. And you click on, I guess, your profile in the top corner.
Yep.
and go to SPS and DEC rewards.
Okay.
And you look at the LP rewards, SPS and PKM. There is, where is it? I thought it said here how many days were left on it. Is it not? Maybe it's somewhere else. But yeah, there's only a couple days left on this rewards system pool.
Is that right?
And yeah, I think when I saw it on Friday, there were 9 days left.
Okay. So then, and so there's X amount of liquidity. And, you know, if you're investing in that, you're receiving some proportion of that payout. They say 66% APR. But then you're saying that this is, I guess, going dry or being changed or ending or what?
Yeah. So this specific rewards that you get is only going to be lasting a couple more days.
Mm-hmm. And then did they not have like essentially more value to put in or what? Like, what do you help me understand that?
So that part, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I think so with the monthly rewards changing, I don't know if it could be a case of, all right, well, it's just not going as well as we planned and we're going to lower it, or it's going even better than we hoped for and we could now give more rewards to the people.
I want to know, I haven't talked to Jarvie recently. I want to know how many premium members they got. And actually I want to upgrade I haven't done my premium recently. So if you guys,
to find that out?
You'd have to probably just ask Jarvie. I don't think it's like on the site or anything, but guys, using PKM to get your premium is definitely valuable. There's a lot of sort of, among other things, more rental transactions, more repricing for your rental cards. And I think the PKM, it's a reduced number. It used to be like an infinite number, but I think it's more than adequate to cover most people's rental. And it's such an affordable, like 600 PKM, and a PKM is like like a half a cent. So 600, 300 cents, it's like $3. $3 to do that. And that's like for a month I get that service and I get extra rental repricings. You get some rental repricings just being with Peak Monsters, but yeah, you get even more. So I'm currently I'm in that liquidity pool. And BSwap is, somebody made fun of me last time I showed the screen because they don't use BSwap. But I came to BSwap via Peak Monsters, like, because when they started this liquidity pool, and since almost day one, I think I put probably, I want to say I put 5,400 SPS in there, and I think I might have put 20,000 PKM, if I recall correctly. And so then you can see I've lost some SPS, but I've gained a fair amount of PKM. And it's not just that, also you're being paid out some SPS, some vouchers, some DC, some PKM, and some Swap Hive that amounts to 48 cents on a daily basis, I guess. So I don't know. I just did it to support Peak Monsters and their liquidity but I do have a long-term excitement for PKM for a lot of reasons that maybe I won't get into right this second.
Yeah, but other than that, I haven't really been playing, and I'm kind of hoping, or maybe just get an Archmage token, and take some of those profits, put them somewhere else. Have to pay a little bit extra over time, which I'm fine with, because if over that time frame the Xbot goes back down in price because they're just printing more of them, and then eventually they cut back a little bit and then the price goes up, because it's been fluctuating like crazy. So
yeah. Go ahead, HL.
I know what you're saying there, but I tried both bots, and I personally think, like, with my size of the deck, I don't know how big your deck is, but it seems pretty huge. It's the Expo token does way better than the Archmage, because I tried both of them.
That's
just
my
out
view.
of curiosity.
That's my view too.
Yeah, I'm also just going off of like price point at this mark as well.
Yeah, you're willing to save, like, I just looked at the price. Xbot's 120 right now if you want to buy it today on Hive Engine, but then $30 for an Archmage, and so $90 difference is a big difference, right? Yeah. But then, like you said, there are fees that are associated with Archmage that you're going to pay a certain proportion of your SPS or something, don't you?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
45%.
and it's from dailies and ranked battles, so it's not from end of season chest.
I mean, as far as bots go, there, in my opinion, XBot seems to be, from what my limited experience I've done. I had an Archmage. I thought it was quite strong. I used Splintermate. Really, I used Splintermate when I was managing 10 accounts or something and trying to do, a bunch of silver gold accounts. But then I just eventually was like, man, this is too much effort. It's too much for too little reward. Let's put it all together into one account and just play the game for fun. And I've been enjoying that for the last 3 months. I've been doing that. I make it to champion 3. I have a lot of fun doing it. But between the guild brawls, which are, once a week, I have to do that, and it requires rentals, and it requires thoughtfulness, it requires execution of my battles, plus all the daily rank grind. I find that it's that alone is too much. And this is a transition point, guys, a conversational transition. I want to talk to you about, we've heard about how we're changing the ECR, and we're going to say 24 battles a day instead of this complicated one battle takes away 1% of your ECR, whatever's 1% of whatever's left. And we know that translates to something like, 30 battles a day, and you can recharge. But now we're going to do 24 flat battles. You can do more than that, but you have to pay DC to get more battles. Some people are critical about this switch because they say we're pushing away players because we want them to be here, don't we? Why are we telling them you can only play 24 battles? Well, first of all, it's actually, I think, 50 if they play their full allotment, but that will burn 2 days worth of resting time. And then second of all, 24 battles is a lot. In fact, it's, in my opinion, hard to do all the time. Now, I have 2 kids. I have a full-time job outside of this, plus I have to run the YouTube channel. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Maybe Jim or HL, we can start with you. Tell me how are you maintaining? Now, you said you're using a bot, but talk to me about how hard it is to play the existing battles you can play. Are you always getting your full dailies? Are you always using all of your ECR? Or is it hard to do so? Talk to me about that.
It depends. First, I have to say the bot really helped me a lot because sometimes I have really a lot to do for university or other private stuff. So then I let the bot play, but normally I play myself because I have a lot of fun in the game. But it's really hard to manage to play all the battles every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have to admit, unfortunately, the bot is way better than me.
Yeah.
So I learned some strategies from him, but still it's like 2 different leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with you about everything you said really there, actually. Jim, what do you think about they right now with the ECR, you can play about 30 battles a day. If I know you're not playing, but if you're allowed to play 30 battles a day and you're still going to recover your full ECR tomorrow. That's too much in my mind. And so when the criticism comes people say we're pushing away players, we're telling them you can only play 24 and then you got to go somewhere else. That's a bad idea. In some sense, I agree with that sentiment, but I would push back and say 24 is plenty for the only people who are going to be suffering or who are really extreme players, top leaderboard players who want to fight one more battle to get into that next position, or bots that want to play 1,000 matches a day. So that's my view. But Jim, what do you think about this?
Well, I kind of go back to the point of Aggro and Matt saying they never wanted to take this route. So in terms of the original idea of the game, I'm not a fan of it. But I do know that, again, most people are not going to be able to. If you also have a job, you're working, you're doing other stuff, you're not going to be sitting here all day. Nor do you probably want to. So it's hard to say if it's a good thing. There's only one way we'll find out if it is, right?
Yeah.
It's implement it, and if it's good, it's good. If it's not, we can always revert it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could.
Definitely.
Yep. I do think
I'm not afraid to try new stuff.
Yeah, same here. And I think, I don't know, man, like 24 is plenty. And I think, we're talking about between 24 and 30. Like that's really what if you're going to use ECR, you could play 30. So I don't feel like we're sending people away. And if you say, if it takes really probably 3 minutes to 3 to 4 minutes to fight a match, you're already talking about, in the neighborhood of 90 minutes, an hour and a half probably of playtime here. If all you did with this game was just the rank battles. And that's every single day, an hour and a half of gaming on the top of your regular life. For most people, that's a lot. But then add to that, there's actually way more that people, and I saw somebody drop this was from, you know what? I'm going to pull it up quickly. I saw Max Power was he was in the Discord chat when the town hall was on, and he made an amazing observation about the criticism around this issue of, the ECR moving into number of battles per day. Because again, the critique is we don't want to send people away, and I get that, we don't. But I don't think we are, because 1, 24 battles is lots. 2, you can buy more battles. 3, there's tons of other ways to enjoy the game that are not just rank battles. I mean, guild brawls, like I said, that's once a week. It's probably 2 hours once a week on top of the 1.5 hours every day. And you've got, if you want, you get into your tournaments. If you want, you build community in a guild. Not just playing the game. I mean, conversing with them. There's playing the marketplace and with monster flipping and trading and min-maxing your deck and all of that stuff. Like there's a ton that can be done here. We're not sending people away. We're just saying, really, logistically, this is probably all you can handle. And I think that's true. This is most people's max. In fact, as a player who loves this game, I can tell you I can't keep up with it. And I don't know if other people are just crushing it. Maybe I'm just the guy who can't keep up. But man, it feels like it's just simply way too much going on. And as a result, I think it's fine if we move away from ECR. Does the chat disagree? Like, are you guys on board with this ECR change? I'm gonna set up a poll here.
I think the best to do would be, first up, a lot of people are forgetting that they're most likely earning more reward chests because you're not being at 75% anymore, you just always be at 100.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit better. And the second thing that could easily solve this problem, make a mode where you can play with your deck. Maybe you're only getting some skins or something, but you can play as long as you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This mode will also be bot free, because why would a bot want a skin?
Yeah.
It would be perfect for me.
I also don't think there's going to be a problem once we have other things you could do inside of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like when they talked about land essentially being a full-time job. Well, all right, well, you go play some battles. You go handle your land if you have it. You go play tower defense. You go play, what's the other one? Splinterforge?
Yep.
Like, you're still inside the game a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's really important to understand that what we understand Splinterlands to be historically is like this collectible card game with an auto brawler component. And that is such a superficial understanding of what this actually is, because it's more like they talked about in the last town hall that the land component will be like a Civilization type experience. If you guys don't know what Civilization is, it's an amazing video game made by Sid Meier's, one of my favorites of all time. And it's like, it's an economy, it's a political video game, like a game of conquest, trying to conquer the world, but you conquer through like military or through like cultural influences or through economic or even intellectual overpowering your enemies. And so the complexity of that game, and I don't know if that's going to be exactly what land looks like, but the complexity of that game being cited as like a reference point from Ag Road, to me, is very exciting. And it points me to a suspicion that land will be far more complicated and demanding than some people think, I think. And the same is true for, like you mentioned, Splinterforge, and there's GLX, and there's or GLG, I guess, when that comes free. Tower defense is coming, and I think people don't think of those as the same thing. But I think of them as one ecosystem, and you know, I'm certain I won't be able to handle it all. Like I already am not able to handle it all, and I think that's good and it's bad. I wish I could play them all and succeed in them all. So it's bad for me, but it's actually good for you guys. Like for instance, Jim, you're kind of, some people in the chat were like, they know you've got those nightmare packs on lockdown, and that's going to be kind of a niche for you. Like you're going to be a whale of that. And there's these opportunities for people who are now here. And for the last 2.5 years since whenever my YouTube channel kind of started going, I've been carving out this certain niche, but that was a 4-year process where it was beginning when no one really knew who I was. And also when I didn't even really recognize what this was going to become, but I just enjoyed it. And now you're finding joy in in really the collection of those packs and the extraction of value from the airdrops associated with it, with an expectation that you're going to enjoy the game. And that's just like the seed, but then eventually it's going to grow into something. And I think it's exciting to see the diversification of what this, again, it's not just a game. It's not just an auto brawler. It's like, it's an ecosystem of games. It's an economy. It's a community. There's way too much to do here. HL, do you agree with that? Or do you feel like are you doing all of the things? Are you doing Splinterforge? Are you preparing for tower defense? Are you on top of it all, or is it just too much?
Personally, I'd love to top off on tower defense. I only have about, I think, 15 or 20 nightmare packs, and not a lot. But I would love to play that game. It still is a lot of fun. It brings my cards to another use. But I don't play Splinterforge. I just don't, I'm just focusing on Splinterlands and building my assets there before I completely focus on Splinterforge.
Yeah.
Although I also have to say, it's pretty hard to play on the phone. It's not very comfortable. So that's why I don't play it.
That makes sense.
I think the poll gave it enough time here. What did we get? I ended it, but I can't see the results right now. But that's okay.
Oh, hey, did you hear I bought more packs the other day?
How many more did you get?
So Holozor came into the chat on Friday, and he was like, "Hey, yo, I'm beating you by packs now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, I can't have that happen." So I bought another 100, but I think he's beaten me by 2.
2, eh? That's a close race, though.
He's beat me by 2.
Have we heard more about what is going to kind of be? We don't really even know what is kind of a necessary foot in the door, do we? Like, I think any packs is going to be helpful, but there's no, like land, we don't exactly know, is 5 enough? Is 50 enough? Is, 500 enough? I think 100 is probably going to be pretty substantial, though, from the tower defense nightmare packs, hey?
One thing I was thinking about it as well. It's like, okay, if there's 30 different things you can have in the game, the spells and the towers, and you're not going to be able to combine them to make them stronger. You're going to have to stake cards, which means you don't need to have so many packs. But there is that energy system. So if there's the energy system, say one of your towers, it has you can play 20 games. But if you have that exact same tower again, can you play 20 more games? And if you have a third one of those towers, can you play 20 more games with that tower?
So we need to know some more details, hey?
Yeah.
I'm excited for it,
Just
though.
random little questions.
Yeah. I'm excited for it, but I'm in HL's kind of boat where it's like, I'll see where, I'm focusing on Splinterlands. I'm focusing on SPS. I'm focusing on, and, I want to move actually into SPS and the price, and maybe also, we know that the number of staked SPS is going to dictate how many access do you have to this new promo card for us. So maybe we can switch over there. But before we do, I want to address a comment. S has said, sad to hear so much bot support. It won't end well when Xbox gets better and better than humans. And this is a criticism that I often see. And I think maybe let's just spend like a couple minutes on this issue, because I think a lot of people do, they share this concern, let's say. It strikes me that the first conversation that has to happen is, and I think I know where you both stand, but there's a difference between, the use of a bot on a temporary basis when you can't play the cards that you've bought in this ecosystem versus, running bot farms at a bronze league level where you've invested practically nothing financially and you're just leeching off of the Splinterlands ecosystem. I think we can't just say comments like, it's sad to hear talk about bot support as if it's all one like item. It's not. There's, temporary one-time bot, for your main account or whatever versus thousands and thousands of bot farms. The big difference, and that word can imply both. So I don't think and then, we're talking in this context, Jim, myself, HL, we were talking about, the idea of on our main account or on one or two accounts running a bot like this. And I think we also talked at length about how we play this game so much, and then it's like we love playing the game, but we cannot. There's simply too much to be done. And yet I've got like $50,000-$60,000 worth of assets in this game. Is it unreasonable for me to want to extract maximum value from the utility of those cards? I hope you would agree that it's not unreasonable. And so I think in that light, using a bot in the way that we're describing is entirely different than the idea that it would be, viewed from a bot farm perspective. HL, do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, I think everybody who has invested his own money, a lot of money, or even just a couple $100 of a deck, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, and think it's just reasonable to use a bot. Although I think it would probably be more fun to just play by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see also in the chat, I see some of the guys, I see Osku. I play against him in lots of tournaments. And I don't know if he's using all the time a bot, but he's still a pretty decent player.
Mm-hmm.
I have already all the time, I have a hard competition against him. And it's also fun.
Yeah.
So I think both can be good. But I think a lot of people forget it's not only a game, it's also an investment standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, why would you have $10,000 in one account, like for my example, and wouldn't use, if I don't have the time, I would use a bot, of course. I also want to make a little bit money with it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a very reasonable approach. Now, he does raise it's not just, there's kind of two prongs. The first we address, it's like, are bots just generally bad? I think we spoke to that. But then the second kind of conversation I want to give him, I want to lean into his question on is this. He talks about how it won't end well because Xbot is going to get better and better, or forget about Xbot, but other bots even. There'll be some kind of bot at some point. Archmage kind of revolutionized it, and then Xbot got even better, and probably there'll be a new type of bot eventually. Is that going to push human players out? Is that going to ruin the game? And he later said in a different comment, human gamers want to play against human gamers. I think there's some truth to that, but I also think it's not entirely accurate. I think human players want to have fun playing the game, and they want to have a challenge. Like when I play video games, Skyrim, when I play Diablo, a lot of times I'm fighting against computers. Sometimes I'm fighting against humans. There's great value and entertainment that can come out of fighting against computers. I don't see it as the problem that he is making it out to be. Plus, I would say that especially in Splinterlands, is at the level of development that we're currently at with, like I say, maybe we have 40, 50,000 human players playing this game. And I'll tell you that it is brutal waiting for a match for 5 minutes. And this is what we used to do when there was even fewer players. And if you had fewer players or fewer human accounts and you had no bots, that would be a real barrier to your enjoyment, even if you love the game, but also to a growth of our player base, because people would come and try and wait 5 minutes to see a match. It was brutal. And so there's an element of this where if we're using it in the way that I think we've described here today, it's really going to be putting to work the assets I've invested in, I've accrued over years and years, or that, HL or Jim or whoever else. And so I just maybe don't see it the way that SS does. Although I would give some value or some merit to this conversation of are bots going to make humans irrelevant? What do you think about this, guys?
I personally think no, because I still play a lot. I still play in tournaments. I may be a little bit worse, but I learn a lot from the pods, and my main view of the game is to play it myself because I like it. That's why I want to. That's also a reason why I'm using a bot, because I'm learning from it. I'm watching the battles that he does. I'm looking at the strategies he's using in certain rule sets, and I'm trying to understand why he plays certain cards or why he rented certain cards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also a way of improvement of how I got better. Also, a pretty good tool for that was Battle History, splintertools.io, which helped me do that. So every day, if I have time, I'm analyzing the battles that I play and the bot plays, and then sometimes I get a little angry, but yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I get a little angry. That's true. Hey, sometimes this game can be so frustrating when you get like you lose one and you just feel. Well, I don't usually look at this tool, but this is a great tool. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm gonna leave it open my window here because I do want to. There are times where I lose when I'm like, I swear that was like a perfect. I should have won that. Look at this.
Then it's like 0% or something. I know that feeling. It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. So the percentage is actually indicative of my possible potential success rate, correct? So 100 is me, 100%, 12% is at a 12% chance. Look at this. I won this one with a 20% chance. This was a brutal brawl I just fought, and I was, yeah, this one was, let's watch this battle right now. This was a,
You can click on the battle and then it automatically opens in the app also.
Is that right? Okay. This is the one though. No, that's not it. Okay, this is the one. So I'm on the bottom here, Immortalis. Let's look at what the rule sets are.
Yeah, I think you win.
Yeah, I think I do too. But I end up winning.
Close.
There's just like, I think Dr. Blade does some serious work. I don't know how I won. I have a 20% chance to win this. So, and there's no heals. My armor, I had 3 protects, so that was part of it because it's weak magic. But he must have been missing shots, like really key shots. Let's see where some things go wrong for him. I know his halfling alchemist misses, and then it lets my bear. See, that's a miss. That my bear. Then the swamp thing missed, so that's 4 damage. That didn't happen.
The poison there was pretty lucky.
Yeah. That stun is 50-50 chance that he, right? So that's a huge stun. Another miss on the swamp thing, so then I've missed probably 6 damage or more because of the speed of the Archimist.
You also have to think about it's 20% twice from the Swamp Thing and then 10% from the Alchemist.
Yeah, so pretty low.
High.
And that poison dropped again. So the poison's working overtime. The stun was working overtime. The Archimist was dodging everything, like bullet time Matrix style. But yeah.
Now it's just already over.
So I think Freedom, and this guy has, I think, 15 million power if I remember correctly. I just recorded this video. The choosing of my Brawl battles, I recorded it this morning, so I'll put that one out after the video is, I guess, complete, once the final battles are out. Actually, there's one that I haven't seen yet, but I'll watch that later so I can record it and, I guess, edit it in.
By the way, I'm curious, how much do you earn per Brawl as a tier 5 guild? Or tier 3, I think, are you? Or tier 4?
Tier 4. It's
tier
been...
4 already, wow.
It's been... We've been earning about 160 SPS, 170 maybe, because we finish in the middle usually at tier 4. And then, are we still in tier 4? Because we were talking about doing a tier 3 battle. Because you can opt in or out if you choose. But this is the... this is our tier 4, I think. Yeah, tier 4. So... yeah, I think last time we got something like 160, 170 SPS, and I don't know where we finished, but we also, and then the merits, I feel like it was around 4,000 or 5,000 merits, something like that. And then the crowns, I actually don't know how many crowns it was.
That's insane.
Yeah, we used to win tier 3 quite regularly, not every time, but I'd say more of times than we lose it. And then I found that tier 3 was quite lucrative, but of course tier 4 is better. I mean, and plus everybody's scratching and clawing to climb the guild ranks. So it's getting more and more competitive, and the division of resource resources from the leaderboard is getting more and more divided. But one more thing before we move on. I think even talking there on Brawls and how fun that's been, I know that some bots, I guess, I don't know which bots, but I guess some bots are fighting in tournaments. Some bots are, I guess, fighting in Brawls. I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings about that. But here's the thing. I don't think bots are going to end humans playing the game. I play the game as much as I can. I just use the bot when I can't. And I think that's the story for most people who are reasonable humans. Like they have an investment, and maybe a season will happen where they can't play. They're on vacation or something. I think they should have a means, and maybe Splinterlands should offer it. Maybe they should, when we enter the bull market, maybe they should be buying out like an Xbot type thing and just letting it be a service that they render, and maybe they can win share or share the revenues with you, and it'd be a source of revenue for Splinterlands, and it would be trusted, and you wouldn't need to buy a token or whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's a path to that, but I think some people would hate that too because they don't like the idea that bots are anywhere near the game. And I think, unfortunately, the end of the story really is they just are part of this game. And that's not me saying they're perfect and I love them and bots are amazing. It's just me saying that's what blockchain is, man. And also, the developers feel that like some of the kind of prerequisites or foundation of what blockchain is almost necessitate a bit of a hands-off approach in terms of like escorting them out. And then there's a complexity around whether you can even identify them. And when you do, are you misidentifying some people and kicking them out, which happens in other games, guys. Like people get identified as a bot and kicked out. And if you bought $10,000 worth of resources and you get identified as a bot and kicked out, I'm telling you, you'll be furious. So I don't know. I'm not sure I don't feel that this complex problem has an easy solution, as is often the case with complex problems. And so like you have to take a nuanced approach. And at the end of the day, bots are here. And I think if you're not using them exploitively, then there should be room for that. That's at least my opinion. But thanks for the comment. And that'll probably be a video later. So, we'll get you a raffle ticket there, SS. We were going to transition to a conversation around SPS and the new promo card. Have you seen the promo card?
Yeah, the little treasure guy.
That's right.
That's already released?
Yeah, the card isn't released, but the
artwork is released.
Yeah. So can I show you images? Oh yeah, I can go to Hive because I put it on my Hive. So follow me on Hive, guys. If you want, probably once every 2 weeks or once a week, I'll put on one of my videos on Hive before I put them on YouTube, because I can. On YouTube, I like to do one video a day, and Vruz, this video was done early, so I put it on here, and you get 24 hours early access kind of thing. But that's him there. If you can kind of see it, he's the little gremlin that we get when we claim our SPS. This guy. He's gonna turn into a card. Little money grubbing dude. But we know that you need 1,000 SPS to claim one BC or to mint one BCX of that. What's your SPS situation like, guys? Jim, where are you at these days?
I'm at close to 160.
Wow
Is right.
You can even play the wealthy gambit.
What was that? You could play what?
The wealthy gambit, where
you
know that?
Yeah.
Biggest tournament. With I think 160k to enter. Is it somewhere there?
Yeah, I'm at 157.3 right now with like 400 just doing nothing. So
wow, dude, that's a great bag.
I can't wait to stake on people, man.
Yeah. What's your what's the plan? Where's that going? Where's the end? What's the end goal?
Well, I wanted to have enough to where I get well, I guess we don't really know what's going on with player staking anymore, because I thought it was going to be you put a certain amount on X person, they're able to play in whatever league, then you get rewards based upon how much you put on them comparison to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do a good amount on myself, put some on my guild members who needed it,
Mm-hmm.
and then utilize the rest of it as seasonal giveaways to people in the community who also could use them.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
So that was the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if I could find some dude who's got a really nice deck, goes out into guild or not into guild, into tournaments, I'm able to sponsor someone. I'll be like, here's your 160 you need to go play in big tournaments.
Yeah.
You want to sponsor me, maybe?
Maybe when we get there.
HL, what's your situation like there?
I only have about, with this end of the season, I will probably be at 31k.
I mean, that's still pretty solid too. What's been the story getting there? Did you buy SPS outright? Was that part of an airdrop? Like, how did you get to 31?
Yeah, personally, I am more than confident I'm still getting about 1 to 300 right now from daily playing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I probably think about hopefully 1,000 in the end of seasons,
Mm-hmm.
approximately. I think I got about 60 to 65 champion chests I will be able to do, so hopefully we will be getting that there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I basically am unstaking 1k SPS per month to buy cards with it, because I don't have for me, not good enough deck.
Mm.
And the rest was like, I think I bought about 4 to 500 SPS and the rest of 500 worth of US dollars in SPS, and the rest was just played.
I like that.
Now I'm about.
I like that approach, dude. With you take how many SPS you taking a month to go and buy cards with?
Only 1k and all of my tournament earnings, so about 2 to 3k SPS maybe.
That's a really balanced approach because, like you said, you're earning how many 200-300 a day?
No, only on the last day, but I can look at it how much I earned this season only from the rewards alone. I can just take a quick look. Let's see. This season I got about 1.5k only from ranked rewards.
Okay.
And so probably in the season it will be about 3 to 4k SPS per season,
and then
per month.
And then you're taking per month 3 to 4k. Is that what you said, per month?
Yeah, 3 to 4k per month are only my season rewards, not counting tournaments. Tournaments are also like 2k, more than 2k probably. This season did pretty well with tournament rewards.
Nice.
Did pretty good in the alpha ones. So
that seems like a great approach because you are net positive. You're growing your deck, your stack, but you're also, even though the price is, I think, woefully low for SPS, you're taking advantage of that. And so cards are woefully low too. So you're moving from, one low asset into another. And I think you're going to see, plus that the card acquisition is going to help you get into higher and higher leagues, better and better win rates, more and more SPS.
Yep. Basically, I was able to get all of my comments from Chaos Legion, except from the Green Team, to max level from Gold with that.
Cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It makes me almost want to sell some SPS and buy some cards, but but the thing is,
do you want me to buy it? I'll buy it.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, 10 cents per SPS, huh? You down for it?
Best I can do is 3.
That's a good deal.
4. Let's meet in the middle.
But what do you think about this approach to dealing out VRUs? Do we like the fact that it's based on SPS stake? Then is 1,000 the right number? And with it being a common card, you need 400 copies. None of us is going to have 400 BCX minting capacity. So,
dude, I think it's a little high for 1,000.
I kind of do too, but at the same time, there's 500. Look at this. There's 500 million. Yesterday there was 500, and I think 11 million minted SPS, if I recall correctly. It's in my video, and now we're at 520. So that tells me, I think this was at 511, and 520 means that there would be 520, potentially 520,000 Vruzes that could be minted. But a commenter in on my video did point out something which is important to know.
Would be less.
It's not exactly 520 because it's not divided by 1,000, because some people have 900 SPS. Some people have 1,900. Well, you're not going to get, every time you don't have that full 1,000, you're not getting that mintable right. And therefore, we're probably talking about 400,000. That's a total guess. But I also think as we learn more about Vruz, about his abilities, I think you'll see more more SPS being staked in anticipation of that airdrop, because it's actually going to be, they're going to give us a date, and they'll tell us when the airdrop will happen. Sorry, not airdrop. It's screenshot.
Promo card.
The snapshot. They'll do a snapshot of the stake and the blockchain and see who's got how many staked. And that snapshot will be the deciding variable factor for how many you can mint for that promo card. And so you'll see an increase in the staking before that snapshot. And then I think you'll see an increase in the purchase volume from the vouchers, because that's how we pay for this thing. So I don't know. Jim, talk to me about this card. Talk to me about, I don't know, any part of this. It looks like vouchers are up a penny maybe from yesterday. I bought as soon as I heard this, I bought 300 more vouchers, I think. 230 vouchers.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I am very excited for it. And at first I did think the 1,000 was a little too high for it, right? And then when you were going over, all right, well, there could only be 400,000 printings of it. And one thing we do have to remember is it's still a promo card. It's not like they're just trying to get out a bunch of these things out into the public, right? They want the people who are here with the SPS stake. They want the people who are here for it at least a month at that point, right? With all their staked SPS.
Yeah.
They still want to give something back to these people. And or to the game as a whole, because people will still be able to buy them from the market, and the card's going to be at least 11 cents.
It'll be more than that, I think, because but before I share my thought,
a price window on it, or a price guide, depending on vouchers.
Yeah. Because the voucher's 11 cents, but then you have to say, well,
how much? 1,000 SPS.
I would argue that if you look at Archimus, and I did this yesterday in the video, but actually I made a mistake. Archimus has 300,000 circulating supply, like on distribution, but I think that includes the consolidated copies. So somebody told me that there's 800,000 printed BCX. So 800,000 Archimus bears. If there's 400,000 Vruz, right? That could speak into the valuation. But anyways, what were you gonna say, Jim?
More importantly, you see that cards burned of the gold one? That was me.
You're such like somebody did hurt you as a child. I know that now.
Burned one? Why?
HL's like, why?
Yeah.
If you don't want them, send them to me. I don't even own an Archimus right now. I'm gathering up some money to buy him next month. But hey,
someone sent it to me. I forget exactly who, and they're like, "You know what to do with it." I'm like, "My man."
Oh man.
You want to burn a kitty too? Just...
if someone sends it to me and wants me to burn it, I'll do it.
Okay, burn a kitty. Do it.
I will burn any card people will send to me and want me to burn.
Gold foil. Gold foil kitty valued at, what would that be valued at?
Does HL know that I've burned a gold foil Kelia?
I don't think HL's he's been spared that trauma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm the only person to also burn a gold foil Kelia. I've burned 10 or 11 regular foil Kelias now. So
you know, that's the type of rich guy everybody's talking about. Burning money.
Oh, and Hewitt. I thought it was Hewitt who sent me the card. Yeah, Hewitt sent me the cards.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look
Maybe
at
that's
it.
exactly
Oh,
which
it's
guy.
beautiful.
I think I have to also burn a gold foil Keller. How much are they right now? Just
20, 30 bucks maybe? What are they?
$20.
20 or something. I already own one. I just need to earn 20 bucks. Maybe.
Some of these prices, man,
Maybe.
like I don't want to pull away from Bruz yet, but just looking at this market, and I see $8 for a gold foil summoner. Like this is, I mean, one day this will be more rare, and I'm not saying it's going to be $100 per BCX or something. But it's a strong card. I don't know why this card is it as good as some of the options on the white team? Maybe not, but it's a strong card. Like I really like the dice one. She, in my opinion, is super powerful. But man, like I'm astonished by some of these prices. But on the point of price and looking at Archimedes and looking at how there's 800,000 copies of that, and imagining that there might be 400,000 copies of Ruz, you can imagine. And you said there's 11 cents per voucher right now. Well, what's the if we look at Archimedes Bear and he's selling for 25 cents, and we're gonna have half as many of the new promo cards, so I think you're gonna see like a 40 or 50 cent price point on the new card, which is to say that you could buy 11-cent vouchers if you have the SPS staked. You could buy 11-cent vouchers and get probably a 40-cent card, which is the Vruz.
I think you forgot something there. You also need to look at abilities of Archimedes. Archimedes is currently one of the meta staples out there. It's widely played as Lux. At the highest level, it had even Force Field with the halving ability anti-shield. It's just a great card, especially with the Enrage. It's extraordinarily strong. It's really... I think it can even go higher. If everybody acknowledges this card, it can even go a lot higher.
Yep.
And I don't know about the abilities of the new card. It's also a big point on how costly it will be. Also, if we even take the number of 520,000 cards, that's only 1,300 max copies. So with 400,000, it was even less.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an idea for this new promo card.
What's that?
It's gonna have a new ability called Treasure Hunter, and it's actually going to take away 1 SPS every single time it attacks one of your opponent's creatures.
I love it, but that would be so powerful. Everyone would need it because you'd just be stealing SPS from each other.
Yeah, so if it's like, if everyone has it, right, then are you really stealing SPS?
But considering there's only 1,000 accounts that can have a max copy, that would be absolutely wild.
Yeah, that would be the best card ever existed, Splinterlands, probably. But it would be a good April Fool's joke, just a fake balance that this card steals, for April Fool's first. Think about it. What would it do to the market and everything? Just making a little fun of everybody. I think it would be hilarious.
I think, hey, Damien Wolf's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. I did a Facebook Live with Damien like forever ago. Great guy, very friendly.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Who else is out there? Hewitt's been here chatting it up. Guys, you're just amazing conversation. I see there's honestly too many comments to read. But it's good to see Hewitt. Oscu, you're out there. I saw who else? Here, Oscu's had a question. Let's read this one. I see Darkstar first. Good to see you, buddy. The stats on Vruz are not out. Common rarity. One more thing on Vruz before we look at Oscu's question though. To your point, I agree, HL, that Archimedes is powerful and that it's not 100% easy to say, this is 25 cents, therefore, the next one, the Vruz will be double that because it has half as much circulating supply. It's going to depend, is Vruz good? It's going to depend, is Vruz good at level 1 or is he good at level 10? Is he good in level 5? Like all that's going to really matter because it's going to speak to whether we start consolidating them and therefore burning copies, in a sense, burning copies. But my expectation would be that this will be a strong card because they do want it to sell. And my expectation would be that it would be because of the character we're dealing with, that really small little gremlin. I would think that we're going to see a small mana monster. Archimus Bear is this massive 12 bomb. I bet we see like a 3-4 mana monster with this new Vruz character. And I don't know what he's going to be. I saw people speculating in my comment section, things like camouflage, sneak attack, who I don't really know, but I do suspect. And if you look at just like the other promo cards that are out there, the 25 to 50 cents is like and up, right? There's some oldies that are expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if we're in that 20 to 40 cent range for Vruz.
Yeah, bro, but I would also say that if it's a goblin, maybe it's pretty good at doing land. It's not good in game, but it's extraordinarily good at doing land. Maybe they had something like that as a land promo. That would be fun. That would be also fun.
Yeah, they talked about Rooney, how Rooney is going to have a unique role on land now. They explain that more. It's going to be like a power source or something. And so I don't even know what that means exactly, but there will be some component of your land needs a power source, and then the power source would presumably would deteriorate, but then you can use the Rooney as an option for that, and then it wouldn't deteriorate. But if you know that these are selling for like, the regular foils are, I think $300-400 for a Rooney, you have to imagine that power source is going to be quite expensive. That's almost a separate conversation now, but it gets me thinking about all the unknowns within land again, and just like, I really want to know what I need. I'm super excited and I want to know more.
I'm just curious, how many runes do you guys have?
I had 3, I sold 2, I have 1.
Okay. And you, what about you, Jim? How many did you burn?
How many runes did I burn? I don't have any as of right now. But on May 3rd, my birthday stream, live on Splinterlands TV, we will be getting a gold foil Rooney. Be there.
Love it.
I'm going to be there.
Let's see what Oscar has to say. Does no one feel salty about only getting a very low number of next promo cards and needs to buy the rest on the market, or only to be able to compete in Gold Champ? This is on topic too. I like it. I didn't read it before I posted it here, but we're talking Vruz. We're talking like, how do you feel about this idea? You need to have 400,000 SPS staked in order to be eligible to mint the maximum copy for this card. And if you don't have that, and no one's got that, no one in this chat got 400,000, I don't think, staked SPS. Jim, I bet Jim's probably the big boy here with 160,000. And is that annoying that was how it was done? My thought, no, you know what? I don't want to say my thought yet. HL, what do you like? Is it a problem that we're, so fixated on strengthening SPS that we, you know what I mean? Like, is this bad for like a new player experience? Is this bad for, I don't know. Is this a problem?
I think probably new players won't even recognize this a lot. Like, they're like, oh wow, I can get a free card because I won KSPS or something like that. But I think a problem could be a whole price manipulation due to the fact they will buy SPS off the market and then dump it 4 weeks later after they staked it to get most of the promo cards, and then everybody's going like, yeah, it's dump it, I don't need it anymore, I got my vouchers in, I got my promo cards, and that's going to be it. Yeah.
So that makes me think, I got a thought and I want to just quickly throw it out there, but Jim, I also want to hear one more thing from you. Is there a play in front of us, if you had like some money on the side, is there a play to move in hard on some SPS simply to stake and get this, what might be, like I just said, a 20, 30, 40 cent card for an 11 cent voucher? Is there a play here? And then you liquidate your SPS in the future? Is there a play there?
Yeah, I could definitely see that being something, which I didn't even think about until you were like, hey, can we maybe do this? Yeah, I think it's definitely possible, because how much would SPS have to go up or be fluctuating for it to really benefit you or really hurt you if you try to do it?
So if you think about it from the perspective of 11 cent vouchers, and if you and the question is, do you already have the vouchers or do you need to buy them? That's one factor. The second thing is, you know, if you needed, so if I wanted to get 400 copies of this thing, I would need 400,000 SPS. I would need 315,000 more. So let's quickly do this math because I actually want to see if this is a play. 315,000 and times, you know, it's the 2.5 cents is what the cost is, but you probably see some slippage. So if you called it like 2.6,
for SPS,
yeah,
isn't it 0.7 right now?
Is it 2.7?
Yeah.
Jeepers, dude. Yeah, dude. It was at 2.4, like, I don't know, right there, wherever that was.
Look at that. Yeah.
Okay, so
let's say 3 cents.
Yeah, okay. So then I gotta see out here. C3. Yeah. And then you're talking, so the cost is 10, call it 10 grand to get you the necessary SPS. And then assuming you already had 400 vouchers, which I do, that's not a cost to you. But then you're going to get out of that, you're going to get 300, you're going to get 315 out of that purchase for 10 grand. I'm going to get 315 Ruzzes that I think are going to sell in the neighborhood of like 30 cents is what I think, kind of conservative because of how few there will be is where I'm coming from. And I do believe they'll make it a strong card. I could be wrong about that, but I think they will. And so then that's only a $94 profit. Across just those cards, but it's not even profit because I actually have to subtract the voucher cost. So you know you're really only talking probably 315 times 0.2. You're talking probably $60 worth of profit. So if your SPS moved in even like a quarter of a penny, so if you then liquidated that SPS later for let's say 0.027, like a 10% reduction in your SPS, you're going to lose $1,000. So no, man, the margins are too thin. Unless you also just want your SPS, the margins are too thin.
Well, it's fun to go through.
Here's the thing though. If you want a bag of SPS and if you feel that this price point at 2.5, 3 cents is a good target for you, it's within your range, then now is an exciting time to do it because you're going to get this free additional bonus. Like even if it is only, you know, a couple hundred copies of a card, it's like, well, you want the SPS anyways. And if you like the SPS at this price anyways, now is particularly good for that reason.
All right, Dwayne, you talked me into it. I'm going to sell all my cards, go all in on SPS. Literally can't lose.
It wouldn't be the first time you've done that, hey?
It wouldn't be the first time I've done that, Dwayne.
What?
This year.
Yeah.
What did you buy to sell all your cards and what?
All right. I didn't sell all my cards. I kept the Lux.
Yeah.
All right, the Luxes.
Sold one of your
How many,
Luxies.
I got
how many?
I got one regular foil and one gold.
And the rest of your cards, you sell all of your cards.
Yeah, I got rid of all my other gold foils. So it was a couple $1,000.
And what did you buy with it? Packs?
SPS.
Oh wow, holy!
Yeah, I went from like 80 to the 160K mark.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out if it's the right call. Maybe in like a year, SPS go back to $1. You know, hope. Let's hope.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Like, I'm still waiting on a day until you burn a gold foil Rooney.
Oh yeah, that's probably never gonna happen.
If SPS goes to $1, I see you burning one gold foil Rooney there.
The only way I'll burn a gold foil Rooney is if people send me a gold foil Rooney to burn. That's the only way. But I am super interested in getting one because, dude, when they said Rooney holders will get real life perks, I was like, oh, okay, all right, this is going to be great. I'm going to roll up into Splinterfest. They're going to be like, all Rooney holders get this. All gold foil Rooney holders can, I don't even know what else I'd get. I'm going to just walk up into the VIP room, like butt naked, and they're going to be like, hey, he's a VIP. He's top rolling VIP.
Man, it would be... First up, I'd love to attend the next Splinterfest and I hope the assets go up in a significant way that I can attend the flight ticket and the stay there to buy it. That would be great. But as you said right now, I'm also interested in a Rooney first of in their land, and then in real life perks, I may be getting the cheapest one on the market for free 400 or something.
Also, Dwayne, we weren't recording when I said that, right? We weren't recording that.
We paused just for that time.
All right, cool. Just had to make sure.
I'm gonna make it short of it.
Steve's out in the audience talking about his 390,000 SPS. Hewitt's talking about adding to his bag, but he doesn't think he can do it in time he's only got 10K right now. He wants to get up to 50. Everybody who's here and everybody who's really taking Splinterlands seriously understands that, and I think has understood that SPS is not just important or like a strong investment. If this game is going to succeed in the way that is planned and is anticipated for at least in my heart, SPS is going to be this massive token. Like I think $1 is like a strong reality at some point in the future if the game is fun and has a future, if the development goes where they plan, if land launches well. There's a lot of ifs there, and you might say, well, there's too many variables and one of those things is going to go wrong, and so it'll never reach $1. Maybe. But here's the thing. If it happens, we're talking going from 3 cents to $1. And in the meantime, I've got 85,000 of them now, but I hope I'll have 1 million one day. And I think there's really opportunity for people who are, and we heard HL talking about how he's making, 4,000 a month, I think it was, SPS, just playing the game. Plus there's 2,000 on the tournaments or whatever. And so there is tons of opportunity here to stack your bag for practically nothing through just time and attention, and then to really kind of, I think, enjoy and prepare for a massive financial opportunity. And so I think we all get that. But then when stuff like this happens with Bruz and how you need to have it staked in order to get access to that airdrop, it's not an airdrop, that minting right. Or even with the conversation around Rooney and how, well, that was expensive, so I didn't get one, but hey, it's going to have this functionality in land and it's going to do this and it's going to do that. Or every other thing, tower defense packs and how they give you this, or validator nodes and how they give you these, and everything is so interconnected. And I think we just have to stop forgetting that fact, because when we look at Vruz airdrop or minting rights, we have to remember that this has always been the plan. This has always been the story, to build in value to the tokens of our economy, recognizing that benefit to SPS is benefit to the entire game and the ecosystem. And so even if it leaves me, it leaves me in a place where I'm not gonna have nearly enough copies. I'm gonna get 85 copies. And that's not nearly enough. I want 400. I'm gonna want a max copy. I don't care what card it is. I'm gonna want one. But that's just what it is. Like, you can't have it all. You never could, and you never will. It doesn't matter if you play the game every day. It doesn't matter if you're rich right now. It doesn't matter if you're an Ethereum millionaire, because of the fact that you're always going to be, putting in only a portion of your value, and you're only going to be putting in a portion of your time. You're never going to get everything out of Splinterlands that would be possible. And that truth is becoming more and more real as we see, like I said earlier, diversification of what is possible here. Not just ranked battles, not just guild brawls, not just tournaments, Splinterforge, tower defense, land, on and on and on. So I don't know. I mean, to answer Oski's question, I mean, I'm frustrated I'm only getting 85 copies, but that's just the way this works with SPS, and I'm okay with that, even though I'm annoyed I'm gonna have to go to that marketplace and I'm gonna have to buy 300 copies. This is how I feel. Steve says if GLX works and brings in more partners, SPS could pass $1, as all of those have to support SPS. Yeah, man, I completely agree with this. That's part of why. But then it's more than that too. You look at, what else? You look at the flywheel and how access to DEC is necessary, and the burning of SPS will be required at some point. Not right now, but at some point. And that's going to have and then you look at how SPS actually only has a 6-year issuance, and after that point it's all released into the wild, and then there is no more. So it's actually deflationary at that point, unless we pass some sort of proposal that increases inflation because we want to keep supporting the validator nodes. The point is, there's actually predictable road signs pointing to SPS appreciation. And I don't know that we are. I think we're kind of taking that for granted. We're actually not. We're not really believing that right now. Maybe let's stop. Let's park there for a minute. Jim, we've talked about SPS price quite a bit in the past, but do you have any? And obviously, you're growing the bag. You're stronger and more confident than ever with SPS, I suppose. Tell me about where your head's at on it right now, and what are your thoughts?
You know, it's been a long, hard winter for SPS, and I don't know if you guys know, but we're about to, or did we enter spring? Is it springtime?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we just sprung ahead.
All right, guys, we are getting out of this cold winter this year. And if it doesn't happen, I lagged and, what is it? The groundhog lied about the days of winter left.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all that happened. So, but all right, all jokes aside. SPS has been one of my biggest priorities in this game for a while. I really think this game, this company has really good ideas. And aside from this game, they are also partnering up with other game companies, other people as well. And I think that's also going to grow. There's no short-term answer for this. It's going to be slow steps along the way. And hopefully in a year time frame, we're all going to be up higher than 2 cents, 3 cents SPS, because I just don't want this winter to keep going.
I know.
So long.
Well,
it's rough.
Yeah, it's been tough. I think you can see the writing on the wall. That it's coming to an end for a lot of reasons. And that doesn't mean tomorrow. And it doesn't mean smooth sailing. It still means probably some difficulties along the way, but lots of reason for hope.
Gone up a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, just look at what happened with the buyouts. There's a whole market conversation that I don't know if everybody's aware about, but just in 1 minute, there was a massive bank failure. There's actually 3 bank failures last week. And one of them was like a $200+ billion bank, Silicon Valley Bank. They failed in part because they were holding too many bonds. They were trying to garner interest off of their bank holdings, their deposits, and those bonds they weren't due, meaning they were not liquid. They were just a bond. You can't. And then the depositors were coming in saying, "Hey, we want our money. Give it to us now." And then they were having to sell those bonds for less than they were worth because they got a bond, but they need cash in hand. So they traded to somebody who's willing to pay 75 cents on a dollar. And now they've got liquid money that they can pay the withdrawal with. But that can only go so far before you go bankrupt. And that was bad planning on their part. It was poor. They should have had more liquidity. They should have had better hedges to account for that sort of thing, so that they could deal with liquid withdrawals. But it's indicative of a massive problem with the U.S. government and actually the globe increasing interest rates at the central bank level globally in a massive way over the last year and a half, whatever it is. And it's not sustainable. I mean, global debt levels are at levels that they've never been at. They're unprecedented, and we're cranking up interest rates, which has this real problem on on the value of bonds. So again, super simplified version, banks need bonds for security and for, they just have to have them because they're considered high value investments that are safe. And so a lot of money that you put into your bank goes into a bond, a government bond. But then that same problem I just talked about is happening everywhere because they've done that. But as the interest rates have spiked, those bonds are worth way less. So here's the problem. A lot of banks are in the same position, and it feels as though it could be the next great financial crisis, literally now. But Sunday, the government said that they were going to bail out that bank. And I think any bank using there's like an overnight window. I don't know. You guys don't need to know all this stuff, but you really need to know the bare bones of this because it literally could be the beginning of the next great financial crisis. And it speaks into our cryptocurrency experience because what happened was the government said they're going to pay all the losses for that one bank. And they pretty much said they're going to do that through that window for any bank that needs it. And so that is tantamount. That is essentially the government saying, it's not even the government, it's the central bank, but the central bank saying, we will print money to let this economy keep going. And then immediately, yesterday morning, Bitcoin goes up 15%. And then today it's at 20. Look at where Bitcoin is at right now, guys. 27 or something. Where is it? Market cap. Look at this. 24.5. Oh, it was at 20. It was at 25 something. Like let's see here in the last 7 days. Look at this. Just a few hours. It was at 26, just over 26,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a big random pump right there, though.
That's crazy. But why does that happen? And this is the point. Why does this happen? Because the bank, the government, the Federal Reserve, which is not the government, says that they'll print money massively. And this is a turning over of a new leaf, which is pulling away from the bearishness, the hawkishness that has been recently, where they're planning on raising interest rates to kill inflation. They're planning on quantitative tightening, which means deleting money out of the system. And now they're going to be printing money to let this charade keep going. And so if that keeps going, and I think it has to, this is my conclusion. I think it has to keep going. It's not going to stop. It's going to ramp up. There'll be more printing. We'll get to a place, I think, where we'll lower interest rates because I think we're breaking the economy by doing the interest rates to the degree we have because of the debt levels. And so then we're talking about blowing the top off on cryptocurrency, on traditional investments. I think the stock market goes into new highs probably if that starts happening. But I would say that cryptocurrency is going to be the place that would have the greatest, I think. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but this is how I'm playing the angle. Cryptocurrency, gold and silver are the avenues through which to see the massive outsized gains. That's my view. And SPS could be absolutely part of that story. For so many useful utility reasons, but then I just gave you some fundamental reasons why there's this economic kind of moment that's unfolding that could speak into the token price appreciation. So suffice it to say, I'm uniquely excited by this moment. Actually, what's going on with the Dow Jones right now? What is happening? Look at this. Up.
Oh.
So what are we last 5 days? So 5 days down 3%, but then just on this stuff starting to like, okay, maybe we can keep going. But just wait and see if more banks come forward asking for that money, and they'll print money for that. And if that happens, that's where the inflation starts going. It just goes right back to hyperinflation as opposed to tightening, which is what they've been trying. It's something to watch. If you guys aren't watching that stuff, get informed, look into it more because it has ramifications. That's why Bitcoin went soaring, and I think it's. Before we went live, we talked about how it could have trickle down, I think, into our SPS and stuff, and maybe it already has. SPS was at 2.4. So, I don't know. Do you follow this stuff,
Yeah.
HL? Are you into this kind of broader market stuff?
Oh, basically, I have my hands full down on the Splinterlands economy. I look where I can find deals there. I just recently found a deal for an Insane for 270. So I'm just more involved into that market and not into SPS. I'm just staking SPS and wait until it hits maybe $1, and then I'm thinking of selling it, some of it. So I'm just waiting and believing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Would it
same
have
here.
to hit $1 for you to sell?
No. It
Okay.
probably will also keep it if it's at $1 if I'm earning a significant amount in the game and I still have fun in it, and I think it can grow higher.
Hmm.
What would be a target where you would be, I don't want to say like leaving, but you know, where you would be taking some significant sales to kind of put some in the pocket? What would that look like?
Personally, if my account, I have a few goals. If it hits about 100k, I will get myself a gaming PC for 5k or something and put only this money out. And basically all of what I invested, so 5 or 6 or 7, I don't know. I think it's only 5, but maybe at that point. And then if it hits enough that I could buy myself an apartment and rent that apartment out, I would probably sell half or more than half of the price of my earnings or my value. They get the apartment and then invest the rent into the game again.
Mm-hmm.
Just to set into a really safe asset, safe on underline.
Yeah, something like real, something tangible.
Yeah.
Jim, what does that look like for you? I'm not sure I've ever really asked you this question. What is an exit, or not an exit, but like what is the plan? What is the goal? What's the 5-year vision?
So, for me, right? My initial thought was, all right, if I could get about 200k, right, it kind of makes it to where I could live very comfortably on passive income that I get through dividend stocks, along with having the store that I'm planning on opening up, which would make it to where I pretty much would never have to work another job for the rest of my life, going that route. So my bare minimum that I'd love to have is 200k for the account. That'd be great. Sign me up all day. If it ever goes to that amount, I'd be like, all right, deuces. But I still wouldn't want to leave because of the community that is here, all the people that I've met in this game. I still really enjoy the game. I still want to be behind the company, and I want to be here for a long time. But if we're saying, after a year, let's say it's spiked out of nowhere, no one saw this stuff coming, and 200k was sitting in my lap, I really don't know what I would do.
The thing is too, it's it's a different conversation whether it's 200k with cards, because how do you exit a card? If your library of cards is 20,000 cards and you know, some of them are worth $5 and some of them are worth $50 and some of them are worth $500. It's really tricky to fully exit a card empire, but it's actually really easy to, I know you've thought this through, to exit an SPS bag. So you've got 180, 200,000 SPS, 400,000 with, Steve said he's got 400,000, and some people have $1 million. So you're sitting on $1 million. I want to get $1 million SPS. You're sitting on $1 million. You could conceivably unload you get that to $1 a pop, and you could pull the trigger on a massive life-changing trade with one click. That is a wild thought. And I like this comment. Bobby goes 20%, $20 SPS, hold or die. And then
until I die.
And then Hewitt goes, or where was it? If we get a 50x, y'all get rid of me. If we get up to a buck, buck 50, he's gone.
Guys, I'm gone, dude.
He's just peace. I'm out.
I'm just curious. How do you actually get your assets out of the game? I have basically tried it with Binance, but Binance is not looking that bright right now. How are you doing it? I'm just curious.
I haven't done it recently, HL, but I have done it in the past. I paid for this computer with it. It was about $3,000, and then I bought my trip to Vegas with it. So what I did was, and I'm not sure if in your country you have access to these things, but what was my strategy? So I remove. First of all, you get assuming you got SPS, you gotta move your SPS into probably Hive Engine, and you're using this to probably turn it into Hive. And then once you get your Hive and Hive Engine, you can move it over to Binance. And remember, you're just in and out. So, if you're just doing a $5,000 or something, I don't think you're going to need to be too worried about it. You're going to get $5,000 with the Hive is probably 10,000, maybe it's 12,000 Hive, and you're going to move it over to Binance. And then from Binance, you actually can link your bank into Binance. If you think that's questionable, there are other major exchanges that will do that too. Coinbase will do that for me. Coinberry is a Canadian exchange that I use, and that it has links to PayPal, and so you can put it like directly into PayPal that way, or and so. But it's going to start with SPS coming into Hive Engine, and then and then if you don't know where your full length of options, you can come over to Livecoin Watch or to Coin Market Cap, click onto SPS, and you're going to be able to see all the markets that you're available to, and then you're going to be able to find like there's got to be some market you can access. Actually, that's not all of them, because it's on. See, it's in Binance, but that's the Pancake Swap. But I use Binance when I'm using my Hive. I think is that the only one? Maybe it is. So I think you might have to go through Binance right now, and that's partly why we need to get SPS listed, man. Maybe let's talk about that for 20 minutes or 10 minutes or so. We
think. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it would be a good option to just have a direct way on really a cheap way of buying SPS and DC in the Splinterlands market, because if you want to buy SPS here, you pay about a 5% fee or something, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, stupid. But I guess if you don't pay that fee, you're gonna have to. So let's say you don't want to pay that fee by buying it through this window. In order to get SPS, you'd need to deposit money from your bank into whatever exchange you use. There's probably a fee there. Then you buy a token. There's probably a fee on the buy. Then you move that token to another exchange where you can get Hive. There's a fee there. Then you move the Hive into Hive Engine, and there's a fee there. It's like there's just a ton of fees with cryptocurrency. But to be fair, you're talking about the potential for moving millions of dollars almost instantly with a relatively small fee. When you look at the fees paid by global remittance companies, sometimes it's 10, 20, 30% of your money you'll have to pay for remittance to send, for people to send money from Canada back to like family in India or something like this. It's massive because there's so many intermediaries that have to get involved to see that money come from point A to point Z. Yeah,
sure, but I bought SPS only a few days ago for, I think, 200, and it was way cheaper than I bought if I did some money into Binance. Then I got it to Hive, and then from Hive, I got it to Splinterlands, and it was way cheaper there to do it that way than to directly buy it from here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, convenience is definitely, and that's partly the problem. Like one of the barriers for our game to really grow is that there are too many complicated blockchain things. These are barriers for a lay person to move in. You need to have SPS. You need to stake SPS on your account. Well, how do I get SPS? What do you mean I have to pay a massive fee? What do you like? Transact doesn't work with my credit cards. 5% processing fee? Like, that's crazy. These are kind of unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But we can do different things, and I think we are starting to do different things with like the second layer solutions are going to be a significant factor for how that can be, I guess, tracked and dealt with. I think ultimately we need to make it so that maybe SPS isn't even. I don't know how to fix it, but one solution that could be really easy is if they. Let me show you guys something. If I want to, this is my Hive wallet. This is my Hive blockchain and my Hive blog on the Hive blockchain. And you need to have X amount of Hive to be able to vote people up and give them, like, I guess, essentially a tip for content creation. But you can, how do I do this again? Delegate, Hive, buy, power up. I think it's buy. I'm not going to be able to find it right like while we're live here. This is just being able to trade. There's a way to rent this stuff. Is my point. Using people who want to delegate it. And I think if there was just simply a click where I could I could say I want to borrow 5,000 SPS for the season, and then there would be a contract fee associated with that, and maybe it would be PayPal payable. Maybe that would be the easiest way if that's possible. And it's not like you're buying crypto, so it shouldn't be a regulatory red flag. It should be, you're just borrowing, like you're paying to have essentially like that power on your account for a period of time. I know this is possible, and I think it should be easily implementable. And the question really would then be, how would we pay for it? Is it possible to link PayPal for that? Would you need DEC? Because that's another barrier. If you need DEC to pay for it, again, same problem. How do we get DEC?
I think the easiest option would also be like use credits for it. You can use credits by PayPal.
There you go.
It's easy done. Like that's how I bought most of my cards.
Yeah.
Same.
I bought it with credits. It's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the only reason I'm in so deep into this game. That's the only reason.
Steve said the best approach might be Coinbase to buy Ethereum, then Ethereum to MetaMask, in the simple 1-2, and then I guess you would from MetaMask you can use one of those what are they called, liquidity pools, I guess.
Yeah, I asked him the best route for me to get Ethereum for Gold Rooney, but he said then if it's outside money, but I was meaning inside the game, so
gotcha.
A good route for that.
I just buy Hive from PeakD Wallet. You buy Hive from the PeakD Wallet. I didn't know you could do that. I don't use PeakD. PeakD, for people who don't know, is a website which engages with the Hive blockchain so that you can view blog posts, and you can use your keychain to like link your account. And then I didn't know you could do that. I'm gonna have to check that out later. See, it's great that there's options, but that there are so many options is indicative of the confusion and the problem. Like, I've been here for 4 years and I don't know about PeakD. I've been here for 4 years and I didn't know you could use Ethereum through, like what Steve said, with outside money. I've never done that. It's like, I'm not a layperson. What is the layperson going to do when they're told to play our game, you need to have 10,000 SPS staked, and they're like, I just want to play the game. Like, I just want to. And so maybe we'll finish. I don't know if you guys have any topics you want to get into, but one thing that comes to mind and is related is, we talked about it before. I saw Aftersound did a video talking about with Weirdbeard about whether or not our game needs a free-to-play element. I kind of think it does. I actually think if you could just come here and create an account and have none of this, you don't care about any of this. You don't care about card earning. You just want to play. And maybe even you can earn free cards, but they're always going to, I almost wouldn't care if you could earn soulbound. They'd have to be permanently soulbound. But if you could earn permanently soulbound cards that level up, that's fine with me. Come play our game and be part of this ecosystem. Love it so much that you're here every day playing for free. I don't care. I do not care. Now, I know there's server costs, and I know that, we have to remember that if the server cost is shrinking our runway for, the longevity of the Splinterlands team and their wallet, then that's a problem. But man, I think we want to take away barriers. And I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of barriers for a new player to get involved if they don't know blockchain. HL, what do you think about that? Oh, Jim, go ahead.
I was going to say, I've talked about this in the past before, of kind of not so much of like a free-to-play version, but a buy-the-box, and you essentially get maxed out cards, and you can climb the rank, right? So what are games are going for like $40 to $60, $70 range, pretty much.
Yep.
Right. So like, say they spent $40 to kind of offset the server costs, like you were going on. $40, you get all Chaos Legion, or I guess you could even do like access to all the modern cards, access to all maxed out modern cards. So then that way you can climb all the ranks, but you don't get any single rewards for doing it other than just playing the game and having the fun with it, right? And then also, if you then want to even go buy some cards, then maybe start giving them some rewards. But at
Yeah.
that point, could it be a little crazy of like, oh, I have these maxed out cards for everything, like one chaos agent, so I get 5% rewards. Is that worth it playing in champion? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the moment to do it was we could make a little esport underline series. Like we have the tournaments here where you get SPS. We could do something like that for the normal ranked, where you have access to all cards. You can just in third rank mode, let's say it's only modern, you get all of the modern cards. You pay about 40, as you said, 40-50 bucks one time that you can play this mode as a normal game. And that's also an addition to the game. And then you earn like maybe the top players in champion earn like 1000 DC, the top 10 players or something, and an extra ticket to a big tournament. Then we have a really esports scene there that's not depending on money.
Look at this. Bubby goes, reward the free players with merits only.
That's not terrible.
Then then if you actually want to do something with it, hey, I've got like a massive bag of merits. Oh, I can get I can get these Bloodstone characters, and yeah, I mean, something where, honestly, I think introducing them to it, and BJY said it's not fun without the money. I disagree. Like, I think there's a reason that I played this game when I was getting like a fraction of 1 DC per battle, and the cards were, and there was 100 people playing this game. I wasn't rich, and there was no foreseeable future to the cards really becoming what they've become. It simply was just the entertainment value of the battle. And I really believe this, guys. If you aren't having fun in playing this game, you shouldn't be playing it. Just stop it. Like, don't chase after something because you think it's going to go up. That's like the worst investment strategy, because when things get tough, if we aren't done this bear market and it takes another year and a half, I don't know that the person who's here strictly for financial investment is going to have the let's say the wherewithal to grunt that out. But if you're here enjoying the time, every day you play whenever you can, and sometimes when you can't, you're using that bot or whatever, but you're playing tournaments, you're having fun, you're playing against friends in the guild, you're playing, your rank battles, there's a lot of entertainment and excitement for you, then you really can, and you will, put in the time and attention that's necessary to stack those trivial rewards, which will multiply in value across that time horizon. And that's where something actually can happen for you. But if you are not enjoying it, I can't picture doing that, because this is not going to be a get rich quick scheme. But if you're here for 4 years and you put in time all the time, I absolutely believe that the value can lead to life-changing wealth. But it's like this daily commitment, and I can't see that happening if you truly didn't like it. HL, any thoughts on that?
Totally agree with you there. Yeah. Don't invest in something you don't believe in. Invest in the company, and don't invest in something that might go up or go down. Yeah.
I think Splinterlands, for me, the magic comes in the fact that it's fun and rewarding. If it was just rewarding, and there's been games like that, I don't care. I'm not going to touch it. There's been games like that, like, what was that, Alien Worlds or whatever, like that, all people did was literally garbage. Click on something. It's like, no, literal thanks. Trash. No thanks.
I didn't even heard of that.
I mean, I probably shouldn't throw out names like that. I don't mean to crap on them. It's just, I know that it wasn't a game, and I just don't get it. I don't get why people would want to do that. But this is a fun game, man. This is really challenging to build the best team possible. It's really challenging to beat these people that I see regularly. I want to win. I want to climb as high as I can. I want to, in my guild brawls, I want to achieve a high level of success. When land launches, there's going to be a min-maxing of how you use that. And, there's so much thoughtfulness in this. This is way more. I think that sentiment from BJY comes out of a place. And if I'm wrong about this, BJY, like, you let me know, but I feel it must come out of a place where you're thinking about this game from the perspective of, like I said earlier, it's just an auto brawler. It's just that's what this game is. No, it's not. It's way more than that. And it's an economy. It's an ecosystem of a variety of gaming experiences that will continue to grow and be diversified. That already is complicated and quite rewarding and fun. But also there's a vision for it to be even more so in the future. So I don't know. I guess I definitely disagree.
I also want to say, have you guys heard about Illuvium?
Yes.
Have you already tried it out?
No, I've seen it looked pretty cool, but no. What do you want to say about that one?
Yeah, I'd love to try it once, but unfortunately I don't have the technique to do so. So I just want to know if you guys played it and what you guys think about it.
I had a friend who used to talk about it, but no, I haven't ever. And I was told like it was one of these, like it was certainly invest sooner and you're going to see maximum rewards in it. And I mean, I guess that's every NFT game, but the sales pitch I received was not strong, although it looks cool. It wasn't, the person was like, I'm just doing it because I'm here early, which didn't get me excited.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's I don't care about that. I thought it's because of the graphics and it's maybe a little bit of a similar game like that, maybe a little bit of chess into it. It would be pretty fun, but
yeah. I'm open to new games. I should say that I've never covered a new game really, except for maybe a little bit of Splinterforge. I'm open to it. I hope Illuvium's awesome. I hope there's other games I don't even know, but that are just crushing it, because I really think blockchain with video games is like the future of video games. Because I think NFTs, collectibles that you are rewarded for your time and attention, is actually revolutionary when it comes to video games. So, I think that's the exciting part. So I want to see more of that. I want to see more people I want this to be commonly accepted, because I think we're so niche. I think Splinterlands is, for those who know about us, they're like, oh, they misunderstand what we are. Like I said, it's just an auto brawler. No, it's way more than that. Or they think it's kind of a, like a Ponzi where you need to be in early. And I would say, no, yeah, if you're here early, you're going to benefit. But if you're here now and you're investing your time and attention now across a long enough time horizon, you're going to see the benefits, because the assets you're earning for free or through time and attention are going to be valuable, in 3, 4, 5 years. And so I hope that more people recognize that through the adoption of more and more of these games. And I think we're already seeing it in our system. I don't know how big Splinterforge is, but it does seem like there's a good amount of videos with a good amount of views on this. GLG is kind of, I don't know what to think about this one, but I like that it's coming. And like someone said, it's cool that GLG there'll be a variety of games within it. So, that's like its own library. There's just a lot to be excited about there. No Barabonk says no alluvials are for sale. All needs to be found. Gotta buy stuff through right boxes. You know what? Let's just take a few minutes and give you guys a proper goodbye. And but we've been here for almost 2 hours here. Jim, you've talked about Splinterlands TV. You've talked about the birthday cast. Tell them what times, and specifically the birthday cast. What time and what day is that one going to be?
Yeah, so May 3rd is going to fall on a Wednesday, and I stream every Wednesday for Splinterlands TV, which is now being pushed forward, right? Yeah, which is now midnight. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Midnight Central Time to 2 a.m. Oh, dude, that's going to be rough. I work at 4 a.m. the next day, dude. What am I doing?
Jimbo.
And on Friday, it is 11 to 1 Central Time.
You need to wake up. You need to sleep so that your day begins at 11 p.m.
Right when I stream.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, that's got to be it. But guys, make sure you're supporting Splinterlands TV. They're doing these amazing giveaways lately. Like they just gave away a llama, scarred llama the other day. Make sure you're participating in those views, and all you have to do really is watch, and you have opportunities to win those things. Hey, Jim, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then HL, can you tell the guys one more time about what you're doing and how often are you posting videos? Is it always on YouTube? Is it Twitch? Where else?
I'm posting videos every day. I'm be planning on going also on Twitch, on maybe just for a play session, not only talk, just playing and talking about strategy and maybe hanging out with you, a little guy, would be fun. I also want to talk about. I'm a little competitor to Twain because I also have my own guild. We are still looking for members, and maybe you're interested to join.
Oh.
So,
Reported. Get him out of here, Dwayne. He's trying to poach your people.
Yeah, one of these days, if you guys ever want, we talk about merging under the banner of Time and Attention. But no, like I love it. Like again, like I said, with the games, we want to see Illuvium succeed. We want to see other guild brawls succeed. What's the name of the guild brawl or the guild?
It's the Forgotten Legion. We currently have about 18 members.
Yeah.
But I think we have to, maybe we could work something out for you if you're interested in joining. And we also have a Discord where we it's just a small little Discord. They're talking a little bit. You can get to know me there too if you want to.
That's cool. And yeah, guys, remember, subscribe to the channel. He's got great content. HL49. And some of your videos have been blowing up lately, like a few thousand views on some of these puppies. I don't see them here, but I noticed that. So
it was about Lily Paw. I made a strategy video about her, showing how to efficiently use her. And it really blew up. I didn't even know how.
So go check it out, guys. Good stuff. And both of you, thank you for coming today. And everybody in the chat, thanks for coming. Darren, I didn't shout you out, but been here since the channel was just getting going. Thanks, buddy. Bobby's been here since the video started. Steve, appreciate you being here. Deus, good to see you, bud. Vilson, Hewitt, Yellow. Who else is out there? Lots of you. Appreciate you guys being here. Member? What's that, Jimbo?
Darren's a guild member.
Yeah. And he was like one of the first to support the channel financially. Sent me
awesome.
Yeah, super chat way back when. Guys, thank you. I hope you have an amazing day. And members, I'm going live on Thursday this week, Thursday, for a members only live. If you want to be present for that, guys, and bring your questions and we get into it, consider supporting the YouTube channel. Check out the membership and you can see what sort of tiers there are and what one you might want. They each have different abilities and sort of benefits. But every week I do a live for my members and they will be live with me. So thanks, guys. Have an amazing day. God bless.